Coach, what's with the week of practice been like? I mean, have you been able to do the normal stuff being in a modified quarantine and the regular preparation, or has it been a little bit different?
Yeah, I mean, it's you find yourself, just really the first couple days trying to just almost just try to focus on just conditioning and, just giving these guys a chance to play off some of the rust and try to get back in some semblance of shape, before you could even begin to, install a game plan or work on execution at either end of the court. You find yourself, just trying to get a balance in terms of conditioning and getting these guys just strictly back in some form of shape again. Yeah, I mean, it's been a challenging week in preparing for such a great team.
Can you hear them?
Phil's now joined me.
Hey, Dan, I guess before we get into Creighton, I just said, are you looking for a fill-in game for the DePaul, DePaul next Wednesday right now, or whether it be conference, non-conference, or is that something you're looking into right now?
That's a brutal question, Dave. A conference game, I think that we were hoping for a conference game before Christmas. Well, once we became aware of the DePaul thing, but that doesn't look like that's going to be a reality. So I think it's conference game or nothing for us at this particular juncture.
Dan, can you talk about the challenge that their three-point defense will provide for you tomorrow?
Yeah, I mean, that's a major challenge. Just in transition, with their half court, execution, with your ball screen coverages. When you've got a point guard who's like a maestro, the way Zagorowski is, and just how beautiful he plays the position. It puts you in a real bind when he's in a ball screen with a five-man that could roll and finish, and he's got three shooters, with him on the perimeter.
Coming right home afterwards?
Transition. It's transition with pitchbacks and the way they run to their spacing, and then with their half-court execution, where they put nothing but quality out on the court offensively. And what's that?
I'm just let me ask.
Yeah, and they have maybe the best point guard in the country in Zagorowski, maybe the best shooter in the country in Bullock, and then some outstanding wings, Mahoney and Jefferson, and they're loaded.
Go ahead, Dave. No.
Oh, okay. I guess you kind of answered my questions about Creighton. Just the whole, their positionless style of play and their ability to shoot from the perimeter, that really creates a lot of problems for anybody, I guess, right?
Yeah, it definitely does, and obviously, we're trying. We have flexibility. We've got flexibility in terms of the way that we can play. I think at this, coming out of the one game in Mohegan, I think we were, with the Cook's eventual return, we're probably thinking, that we wanted to try to play bigger this year, because we really like our front court talent and depth. But that's a hard thing to do against Creighton, because again, that puts Isaiah, potentially on Jefferson or Mahoney, which is a heck of a challenge for him to get out to the perimeter and guard those guys, playing him at the four. So yeah, it's it would be a heck of a challenge it's a heck of a challenge for us.
Dan, will you have everyone available health-wise? Will anybody be missing for you?
Yeah, no, I don't think Tyler potentially, may or may not be able to go in this one. We'll know more tomorrow with him, but everyone else is healthy. Yeah, everyone else but a Cook, obviously, he was, the pauses have really, he might have been able to play a game. He might have been in line for something maybe after Christmas, maybe even before the new year. But the COVID pause has set him back weeks, multiple weeks.
Gavin, good luck.
I know everybody's going through this, with all the changes and everything, but does it wear on you at all, frustrate you? I know you have to go with the flow, but it seems that that's being kind of taken to the extreme this year because everything that's going on.
Yeah, I think you do. No, I'm frustrated. I have a lot of anxiety about these games because it's so far away from how normally you would prepare for a season, going back to the summer, and then obviously just our last 40 days have been, they've been a mess here. We've had many more days where we weren't allowed to do anything than we've actually been able to practice or play games. So, I'm certainly you put up obviously a strong front a confident front in front of the players and, and in front of you guys on the screen. But, I'm incredibly nervous and anxious about what we're going to look like tomorrow against one of the best teams in the country after what's gone on for, the last 40 days. So, but, that being said, I have a tremendous also appreciation that we get a chance to get out and play right now, and that we have a duty to get out there and give the best account of ourselves in any opportunities that we get to play.
Wayne, Norman?
Dan, what does the addition of the Duke transfer O'Connell add to their equation? They're a better team now than they were a week ago, aren't they?
Yeah, it's just another, just high level offensive player, with size and, just fits the mold of how Greg, runs his program and how they play offensively. So, yeah, they go three deep at center, and and they're really deep, with their four guard, lineup, and there's just high level of quality up and down their roster.
Dan, Barletta?
Yeah, Coach, just in watching Creighton's most recent games, they struggled, a little bit against Marquette, especially free throw shooting, lost that game, but then they come right back and they beat St. John's by 20. Like, do you put more stock in that St. John's win than maybe than the loss that they suffered against Marquette?
Yeah, absolutely. Any Big East Conference game, home or away, that you win, is obviously a great win. I look at them as as a team that's got, obviously championship aspirations in the Big East, as well as a team that's, Final Four potential, or, Elite Eight potential, whatever that means. I haven't seen. They've got one of the best offensive attacks in the country, and it's a veteran group that has played together and had a lot of success together.
Dave, Borges?
Dan, what's been obviously from afar to this point, your perception of what the Big East this season, what it looks like, how challenging it's going to be, how competitive it's going to be throughout the season.
Yeah, Dave, you focus on your own league when you're in that league, and you try to see a little bit of the other conferences play. But we with this new with the new conference, for us, it's you watch these games and you see how hard it is to win a game in a league that's maybe the best conference in the country, or top 2 or 3 at the worst. So it wasn't lost on me that every team in the league is a Ken Palm top 100, which is the only conference in the country with that. And there's not a win that we would get. Hopefully we'll get some this year. But there's not a win that you get in this league that you ever have to apologize for. And, what's that?
Sorry to revisit this, but did you say that if there's a reschedule for next week, it would be conference stuff only, or at this point?
Yeah, I would look, for us, conference only. And I would think that there's a greater chance of a game on the 27th as opposed to, the 23rd, or the 22nd, unless there's a game that's scheduled and somebody gets COVID and they call us in out of the bullpen, and but right now, the risk of playing a non-conference game against somebody and then potentially getting COVID in that game and then getting bounced out of 2 weeks again is not, the juice isn't worth the squeeze at this particular juncture in time in terms of a non-conference opponent, right, Phil?
Tom?
Actually, I was going to ask about the 27th, but you answered that. And with Tyler, is it the mental barrier with the knee, or is there's some other issue there?
There's some other issue that will be disclosed tomorrow. Well, I don't mean to be evasive.
Any other questions, guys? Gavin?
Booknight's been really aggressive in the first half of games. Do you need to get off to a better start in the second half? I mean, do you talk to him about that, or does he kind of know overall he just needs to be more aggressive?
I think part of it's just a mental maturity and just growth. But I just think, just with our team in general, we need to play games. We need to get lucky, and we need to not get COVID. We need to be able to continue to practice consistently. We need to be able to play games consistently. He's still a young player, but just like, just our entire team right now, the only way that you're going to get the consistency that you want is by being able to get into more normal type of practice games. And with the way that things have gone for us, that's a challenge for him and for the whole group.
Wrap it up, Dave?
Yeah, I guess similar to that in a sense that obviously Josh's last game, which seems ages ago, but he played very well. He's not able to sort of build momentum off of that himself, or anyone else who kind of are playing well. So it's kind of tough for a guy to get going like Andre, and B, it's tough for a guy to keep his momentum going, I guess. Is that?
Yeah, absolutely. And but Josh, we need Josh. We need our older guys right now. It's it's going to be challenging to. It's hard enough to get freshmen to play really, really well as freshmen. But just with Adama and Dre and Javante and the younger guys right now, the pauses and the lack of games has really stunted their development and their ability to really help us the way I think that they would be able to help us under normal conditions. So If we don't get that version of Josh, Dave, we're going to have a very, very hard time, being competitive in the league for the foreseeable future until we're able to practice and play games consistently and bring these young guys along.